Hi there, I'm Mistel Godlewski, an American girl who called the cornfields of Illinois home until over 10 years ago when I started navigating the chaos of life overseas. If you've ever felt that itch for something more, that whisper telling you to break free from the ordinary, you're in the right place. This podcast is your backstage pass to the wild ride of moving abroad. I'm here to pull back the curtain on the real journey, sharing stories that are funny, dramatic, and sometimes downright unbelievable. We'll explore the gritty details, from battling culture shock and navigating tricky visa processes to celebrating those small victories that make it all worth it. So whether you're daydreaming about a new life abroad or already in the thick of it, grab your passport and let's explore what it really means to live life beyond borders. Welcome to Abroadly Speaking. Hey there, friend. Welcome to the Abroadly Speaking podcast. My name is Mistel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. This episode's going to be a little different because I know we've just ended the holidays and man, I know the chaos of the holidays are still with all of us right now. And we're about to turn over into 2026 and we're thinking, oh, this is going to be the year I finally move abroad, or this is the year I'm going to make this resolution and finally have this thing happen that I've been working on and I wanted to do it a million times. So I want to start this episode a little differently. Let's take a deep breath together. Not the performative yoga exhale that I love, but a real one. The kind where your shoulders drop 3 inches lower than your brain thought they were sitting. Because we're going to talk about something that lives under the holiday noise, under the decorations, under the lists, under the I'm fines. We're going to talk about endings and beginnings and the space in between those two. That weird, suspended, foggy, emotional hallway where time stops making sense, where your routines dissolve, where every version of you, past, present, and future, seems to be sitting in the same room asking the same questions. Who am I becoming? Is this life working for me? What did this year mean? Why am I still here? And maybe the loudest one, is this really how I'm going to live another year? The holidays are nostalgia and memory and expectation and obligation all tied with a pretty little bow. They're a time when the version of you that grew over the last year is standing in the same rooms with the people who remembered you from 5 versions ago. It's jarring. It's like time travel, but emotional. Suddenly you're 12 again, or 18 again, or 25 again, or whoever you were when you learned to stay small in order to be loved. You hear old jokes that were never actually funny. You slip back into caretaking roles that drain you. You pretend not to notice the comments, the dynamics, the undertone of, don't change too much, okay? But you did change. You know you did. You feel it in your chest, in your tolerance, in the way your skin doesn't fit the same anymore. The holidays make this impossible to ignore. And that's why they sometimes feel heavy. They're warm and cozy and sweet, sure, but also there's grief in there. The grief of outgrowing a life you still have to live for now. The grief of wanting something different while performing the version of you who doesn't. The grief of knowing you can't unknow what you now know. You can't go back to sleep once you've realized you've been living inside a version of yourself that was never the final draft it pretended to be. There's this thing coming, and maybe you're feeling it right now. We're a few days from 2026, and there's the new year energy that you have. It's that new year fresh start feeling. It's intoxicating. It's like hope spiked with denial. The illusion that January will hand you a new self. The fantasy that something external will flip the switch. That you'll wake up on January 1st with more discipline, motivation, clarity, confidence, momentum. And sure, you will wake up with intention. But intention is a spark, not a fire. If you don't feed it, it dies. And every single year, around January 10th, give or take a few days, we all quietly abandon the person we meant to become. Not because we didn't want to change, but because we didn't change how we choose. The calendar changed. We didn't. And so does the year after year after year. This is how time passes while nothing shifts. We postpone real decisions by promising ourselves future transformation. We say we'll do it when we feel less tired or less scared or more ready or more wealthy or more confident. But exhaustion doesn't resolve itself. Fear doesn't evaporate. Confidence doesn't suddenly appear. Money doesn't suddenly show up in your bank account and organize itself. Readiness doesn't arrive just like a politely scheduled Amazon package. You become the person who moves by moving when you're unready. And that's the part that no one says out loud. All right, we're taking a quick break because apparently I'm supposed to promote my offers or whatever the online business girlies are calling it these days. If you're tired of planning this move alone and convincing yourself you just need one more spreadsheet, it's time to join the Departure Lounge. It's my community for people who are done Googling, done spiraling, and honestly just need someone to tell them what to do before they lose their minds. You get support, answers, and the place to panic productively. We do visas, money, timelines, the real stuff without any of the delusional TikTok nonsense. Come hang out. It's the only corner of the internet where moving abroad is normal and you don't have to pretend you're fine. I'll drop the link in the show notes, or you can DM me Departure on Instagram and I'll get you in. There's talk about that it's going to be my year that we all say to ourselves. You know that version of yourself you imagine in January? The one who journals every morning, who takes long walks, hydrates, self regulates, meal plans, follows through, makes decisions with her whole chest, and is somehow fluent suddenly in French. She's real. She's not fictional, but she doesn't arrive because the year changed. She arrives because you stop abandoning yourself when things get uncomfortable. Because let's be brutally, lovingly honest for a second. You don't fail because you can't do things. You fail because the moment something feels emotionally risky, overwhelming, or uncertain, you freeze. You default to, I'll just figure it out later. And later is the most expensive lie you have ever told yourself. Later costs you years. It costs you joy. It costs you time. It costs you trust. Later is how people have lost decades. And here's the most painful part. You think you still have time, but you don't. Not in the endless, stretchy ways your brain pretends. Life is happening right now. Not when you feel ready, not when things stabilize, not when your circumstances align. This exact moment, this messy, imperfect, transitional moment, this is the moment that determines who you become next. Not the shiny ones, not the confident ones. This one, the one where you feel unsure right now. The truth is, you already know. You already know whether you want to leave. You already know whether you've outgrown your current life. You already know whether staying is slowly draining you. The body always knows first. It knows in the tightness in your jaw, in the dull ache in your chest, the emotional hangover of after family gatherings, the Sunday night dread for Monday morning, the I just need to get through this week mantra that you've been chanting for 3 years straight. You already know. You have known. You're just too scared to say it out loud because saying it out loud means you have to do something about it. And doing something about it means you can't hide inside your old life anymore. It means you have to become the person you've been imagining. And that, my friend, is terrifying because becoming her requires grieving who you've been. And grief feels like loss, even when that's what you're losing is pain. So let's slow down here for a second. I want you to really feel this part. You are not weak for struggling to change. You are not lazy for delaying your move. You are not irresponsible for still being here. You've simply reached the edge of your old self. This is not failure. This is a threshold. Thresholds don't feel inspiring. They feel claustrophobic. They feel like, I can't keep doing this. That sentence is not collapse, it's transformation. It's the beginning of the moment when you choose differently, not dramatically, not suddenly, not with fireworks and declarations, but quietly, internally with a steady, stubborn exhaustion kind of courage. The courage that says, I don't know how to do this yet, but I'm going to figure it out. I promise you that is enough to start. So this is what I want you to do. Not a resolution, not a 5-step system, not a vision board, just one thing. And I invite you to do it before you start the new year and go into the new year with this. Tell yourself the truth. Say the sentence you've been avoiding. Say it in your head, say it in your journal, say it out loud in the car where no one can hear you. Just once. I don't want to live like this anymore. Or I want to move abroad. Or I'm done pretending I'm fine. Or I want something different even if it scares me. Whatever that sentence is for you, that sentence is the hinge. That is the moment the door opens. Not wide, not all at once, but enough. Enough to breathe, enough to move, enough to begin, enough to take the first step. Because the new year doesn't change you. You change you. And you're already ready. Not because you feel ready, but because the alternative is staying asleep inside a life that no longer fits you. You didn't come this far to make the same resolution again. You are not planning anymore. You are in the becoming year. Start there. Start with that. All right, my friend, that's it for this episode of A Broadly Speaking. I hope this inspires you to take the first step. Open the door. Just one thing. Just one minuscule open, because if you can crack the door, you can get through it and you can actually move abroad in 2026. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode where we're going to actually get you abroad this year. See you soon. Thanks for tuning in to A Broadly Speaking. If today's episode got you dreaming a little bigger or thinking a little braver, go ahead and hit subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who's ready for their own adventure. And hey, don't be a stranger. Come hang out with me over on Instagram at I am Estelle for the real, unfiltered life abroad. Keep that passport handy, and remember, life's too short to stay in one place.